Hand clap to the master, guys. We're finally back again for another one on the one and only Mystelics reaction channel, guys. Big up all the Mystelics YouTube family out there, all large, all over the entire universe. Big up yourself. One time for definitely tuning into another reaction on this year Mystelics reaction, and of course the newcomers out there, big up yourself as well for tuning to this year reaction video. Now, guys, for those of you who don't know what the whole situation is about, it's about the budget, brothers and sisters. I was gonna be doing a different presentation, but somebody sent me this clip. Well, they sent me a little clip, and I went to do the find this clip out there, guys. And of course, when I was listening to Lennox right there, this is Lennox, the opposition leader of the United Workers Party right there, guys. And I was listening to some of the things that he was saying, and then some of them shocked me, brothers and sisters. They shocked me, I'm not gonna lie. They shocked me as to what exactly is going on, and hopefully I get to pinpoint some of them. There's actually two clips of him right there. I didn't notice. I only found out this like about 10 minutes ago. So I was watching this one right there, but I want to get some of the stuff out there to you guys, because I think a number of persons need to know exactly what is going on, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll get to do a reaction on the budget, the actual documentation right there. So basically what he's asking for certain things. We'll get into them things there, brothers and sisters. And I saw the national youth, the youth national leader, something like that. I saw her speaking about certain things, and I was like, yes, what she's saying makes sense. But there's a number of things that don't seem to add up on what she's actually saying, considering how the economy is going, because we can say a lot of nice things. The wall is beautiful. I'm living in heaven right now, guys. I could be actually in a basement somewhere while you understand what I'm saying? It looks nice, but I could be in a basement underground somewhere with bright lights all around me. Who knows? Well, I'm definitely not there. But you get the point right there, guys. Anyways, hopefully I get to catch some of the stuff right there for you guys, but of course I'll post these links in the description below so you guys can definitely check them out. But let us get this one, guys. This, man, I tell you, let's get it.
Election was conducted. Future elections in government, competence in the performance of the duties of government depends on the integrity and the willingness and the ability of individuals in key public service positions to obey the rule of law. In the absence of such capacity, capability, and commitment, the system of public service delivery of the fruits of good, just, righteous development of the people for the people is subverted and broken, making it impossible to root out the illegalities and irregularities that trigger destruction. Our nature, Isle of Beauty, or Isle of Splendor, is blessed to be a better country than that. That is why I fully expected that after 21 years of budgets that missed the mark of building the best Dominica for all the children of Dominica, that this year's budgets will be grounded in the realities of today's need for change. And I want to cite a few examples. Example number one is electoral reform. We need change
the taints
in the electoral process, which the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, believes is tainted. Quote, there remain areas of grave concern about how the process of these 2019 elections was conducted. Future elections in Dominica ought not to proceed with these or similar taints. End of quote.
Big question, what have they done as a result of what the CCJ them was saying?
Parliament, the highest decision-making body in the state, simply cannot ignore the advice of our highest court that the country's electoral process must be fixed and purged of all taints before the next general election.
What has been done? That's the question right there.
Because this is precisely what the nation needs to ensure
free and fair elections.
Elections with integrity that secures the legitimacy.
I saw a letter from, I think, from Tony Astafans, I think, where they were talking about having this done, you know, clearing the voters list and this kind of things that would be detrimental to the present ruling party. Which means that if it's free and fair, it's not actually free and fair in the first place. If they're telling you if you clear this list to make sure that everybody has a fair chance to actually come and vote in the right place, all the people who have passed on will not be able to vote again. If they are able to do this, then they're telling you that if you do this, this will be bad for you and your winnings and the possibility of winning again, which means that most likely that what is happening is not free and fair. I mean, everybody knows this already. Yet still, what the question is, what is being done for this? We don't know. Yeah.
Of government of the people, by the people, for the people, as the backbone of our democracy.
Anyways, let's move on.
For electoral reform in this year's budget is adequate to meet expenses to be incurred in ensuring equal access opportunities
For everybody.
adequate facilities and competent registering officers for voter registration all over the country, cleaning the voters list through total re-registration, issuing ID cards for voting, establishing equal access to state-owned and other media for all political parties, regulating the financing of election campaigns, and strict enforcement of provisions in our election laws against bribery, cheating, and other election offenses.
Doesn't this seem like something that would lead towards free and fair elections, guys? I mean, come on in. Anyways, guys, let me move on.
Recommended by the Caribbean Court of Justice, questioning the list used for the 2019.
Let's move on,
This
maybe.
appeared on June 17, 2022. Must address the need for change in the search and rescue resources of Dominica. Mr. Speaker, this budget, in light of our failure to find Kanisha Etienne,
Yep, this is another one.
17, 2022, must address the need for change in the search and rescue resources of Dominica. We must approve a minimum of $250,000 for search and rescue drones.
Of course. No, we talking. No, we talking. You don't tell me when Kanisha, the girl's still missing, by the way, because of what the police did. They took out the very man that would know where she is or what happened to her. Most likely, brothers and sisters. But after the whole incident, you know what they were calling for? They were calling for people who had drones to come and help look for and search. So shouldn't that be part of the budget? To prevent another situation like this from happening? To get the thermal drones? To get the night vision drones? The heat sensor drones? The thermal drones, I studied that a while ago. Don't you think that would be vital? Well, let's hope that they have it. This is one of the reasons why I had to do this one first and then go to the other one to see if it's in the budget. We'll see, guys. We will see.
K9 units.
K9 units as well. We bring a Gatewas. And we're proud to say we have a Gatewas coming to search the bush. Trained dog can't do search because of all the interferences, but we bring a Gatewas. To boy, we deadly. Yes, I.
Budget is to provide $400,000 for the establishment of a family court and strict enforcement of the provisions of sexual offenses.
True, if all that is taking place. But of course, we know that it has been stated or it has been alleged that there are ministers of government involved in the very same thing too. So if they are involved in the same thing too, why then would they want to put these kind of things forward while people are out there walking and protesting to have justice for the victims and these kind of measures?
The Sexual Offences Act, especially with respect to the protection, safety, security, and welfare of our children.
I remember the very man, the very radio host himself. It's plain as daylight. Plain as daylight. Trying to give a girl, a little one, $800 to make lolly with her viscous innards. I never understand that. Plain as daylight.
This budget needs to provide $450,000 for full-scale investigation into the Commonwealth of Dominica
Police,
Force.
of course.
Given allegations.
Honorable member, what is the relevance? I've given you.
What do you mean? What is the relevance? The man is talking about the budget and what should be in the budget to then do something that is needed for the community and the protection thereof, not just of Dominica but for CARICOM citizens. What you mean? What is the relevance? Weren't you listen? Were you sleeping or something? Were you in a docile state?
a leeway, but I'm not seeing the relevance to the
You too tebe. You use a tebe, young man.
I'm saying what I would like to see provided for in this budget that we're debating.
Duh, I mean, oh, mister. Hey, but it seems like as soon as you mention the police, you know, you mention those things there, so you feel, oh, let me see if I can protect my crew.
2022-2023 budget.
The man say you don't see the relevance, boy. But Josie, but you just freak me out, you know. Yes, boy.
Again, Mr. Speaker, the budget needs to provide $450,000 for full-scale investigation of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, given allegations of misconduct as follows.
Choxy.
Collusion in the kidnap, torture, forced transfer, and lawful detention of Indian diamond trader and Antigua and Barbuda economic citizen Noel Choxy.
Of course. Of course. It has been stated that he was kidnapped. And as a result of all you being there, pretending like all you knew was, oh, oops, we saw somebody on the beach. The man said he was kidnapped and only put the man in jail. Then all of a sudden some strange plane does come to take the man without nobody knowing. And you want to pretend as if, well, you didn't know nothing about that. There was a strange plane flying all the way from India. Straight flight. I don't know straight flight, I say what I want. But on the basis of that plane reaching, when people were trying to find out what was going on, flight from India, expensive plane come to pick up Neil Trotsky, and only pretending only didn't know what was happening, and Dominican just pull up there and just waiting. Boy, I tell you, we don't easy that place, no boy.
Sit down, sit down.
Of course, another interruption.
yes, both mics.
Mr. Speaker, I want to know where is the leader of the opposition going with all this wanton, Mr. Speaker, alleging improper motives, Mr. Speaker.
He alleging improper motive? He's alleging improper motive? But I don't get it. It's either you imputing improper motive, but you say he alleging improper motive. But you are kicks boy, you that here, Douglas. Yeah, I see him the other day. Yeah, but you have a kicks with you. He's alleging improper motive
Against persons who are not here, Mr. Speaker, to defend themselves.
How he has to defend themselves? Lennox is simply asking for budget for funds to go into investigating the police on the basis of that. What Mel Trotsky have to come and say? No, I do not want no police to investigate no matter that deals with my kidnapping. That is what he have to say. But it's a budget. The money should be put towards that. He's right. You talk about which improper motive he's alleging. How can you allege improper motive? Anyways, guys, set on nonsense. Let's continue.
Situation concerns, but we should not be imputing improper motive.
But you too foolish.
Is always disrespect and heard in the chamber. And if you, as a matter of fact, it's been heard in the chamber. And if you try to do this again, showing disrespect to the chair and the honorable house, we'll have to ask you to leave this house.
But shut up.
$1 million for the development and implementation of a peace plan to address rising crime and violence and the national safety, security, and social stability issues arising from this deeply troubling situation.
There's crime rising. They should put some funds towards seeing how they can curb it. I think that's a good thing. Don't you think so? Let's move on.
The 2022-2023 budget must provide $300,000 to deal with what the chief of police has described as threats to national security, and others have referred to as racketeering, organized crime in the Ministry of National Security.
You don't think that's necessary? You don't think that's necessary?
But again, I mean, honorable member, this is imputing improper motive.
How can he be imputing proper motive when he's saying to do a research into it? There should be monies put into finding out if it's true or not. That always. Ay.
Brings a renewed commitment to the processes, systems, parameters, create, deliver solutions around a whole range of national development issues. Because for more than 2 decades, the national budgets of this administration are focused on designing and upgrading tools that build dependency.
Guys, let me move on a bit.
Dominica, the urgent priority of now is to diligently question the sources of our national development problems and design policies and programs for human development results. Let us dig up the history of the past 20 years that loom large. Ashimea.
I remember hearing something. I'm trying to get to it.
Mr. Speaker, the Cabinet of Ministers is seeking to give legitimacy to a budget plan which excludes large amount of state revenues derived from
CBI.
the sale of passports. They're once again trying to normalize the unconstitutional existence of 2 treasuries, one de jure, one de facto, 2 sources of national income spending.
So we want to pretend as if we don't have money outside and they put in some money inside. They want to pretend as if but they have admitted it. Even Tony Astafan himself admitted it. When they're talking about the $1.2 billion that was missing, you guys remember that? Finally come and admit it and say there's some monies outside there. They said that. And they told you about putting money in the consolidated fund. Any money that is made for on behalf of the people of the country should be in the consolidated fund. But it's outside. Building Dubai Hotel. Luxury hotel. Ay.
And the issue of treasury is further strengthened my point that the statement made by the middle of the opposition is included in proper motive and it should be up.
But there are. You guys admitted it. How you coming in parliament and saying imputing improper motive? I think why they tend to do this is solely on the basis that they're trying to get people to not know these things. Because, well, not much people tend to watch these things, but they will watch it on my channel. But anyways, guys, let's continue.
That have been privatized under the control of foreign friends of the administration. We're basking the glory of exchanging our citizenship for cash.
Anytime he's bringing up things that is actually happening. I remember one time they were mentioning Tony, what is his name again? Anthony Hayden, who we saw come in the park and sign contract for $1 billion. But then they want to say, no, do not say his name. Because then, well, we'll see if we can get to that, guys.
That you know that most of all what I've pointed out there is imputing improper motive. It's saying no. People in public, it's on purpose. So please write. It's so difficult.
Is us obeying the constitutional rule of law and having all of Dominica's income in a single consolidated fund where it is collected and from where it is spent for the people's business through the formal budget cycle subject to parliamentary oversight.
And there's accountability there. How you don't put in money in the account that's supposed to be in consolidated fund? Have money outside there. How expect to account for that money if you don't know how much money you don't even know how much money is outside there? They bring in drugs back to Dominica. Then they give you little people, look at something there for yourself. Billions of dollars being made overseas, and they come back and give you a few money. Look at little money there, and you feel like you get something. Breadcrumb mentality, brothers and sisters. Breadcrumb mentality.
14, 2019, to the Financial Secretary, successful applicants under the Citizenship by Investment Program. All of 3,961 of them for the period August 2018 to December 2018. 5 of the first 6 months of the financial year 2018-2019. That disclosure, you'll recall, Mr. Speaker, raised red flags about the apparent shortfalls in CBI revenues reported for 2018-2019.
We know about that already. That's the $1.2 billion we're talking
There
about.
has been no such disclosure
None.
in the Gazette since.
None.
What?
Hey,
If it
well, let's move on,
comes
guys.
to light about Dominica's passport revenues that do not come into the treasury of Dominica. Money that has to be paid for certificate of naturalization. 950
Guys, I'm moving on.
Dominican citizenship, whether they apply individually or whether they apply.
We know about that. We know that already.
An invitation of a couple of pass it. Indicated that Dominica collected $2,701,480 from certificate of naturalization.
Guys, we'll get to that. I'm looking for something.
If I divide the $2,701,480 by $679.23, I will get the number of persons who got citizenship of Dominica.
Obviously.
It's as simple as that.
Duh. Anyway.
Citizenships in 20,906 persons in 2017, 2018, 2019. 3,386 persons in 2018, 2019. And 8,525 persons in 2019, 2020, for a total of 23,794 citizens over the period 2016, 2017 to 2019, 2020. Revenue.
Guys, I'm trying to get to something.
We find it is in the region of 220 and 23,794 citizens, giving you an average of $227,572.78, means you have revenues of $5.4 billion, from which 1.2 came into the treasury, leaving a balance that has not come in to Dominica of $4.2 billion. Yet, because we have not all we have in respect of that period is $1.2 billion. Fund of government to the state of our economic affairs. We can pay down our public debt with $1 billion contribution in this financial year. We can provide cost of living relief for $200 million. We can energize the economic engines with $500 million. We can provide a disaster reserve fund of $500 million. And we can create a sovereign wealth fund of $1 billion.
There's monies outside they can actually be using to help Dominicans. And Dominicans will sit down, they say, but yeah, that is lie, that's true. But they building Dubai, luxury Dubai hotel though. They building it. It's like I don't know if we want to stay blind. We staying blind. We don't want to breathe. We smelling it is true, you know. We still blocking our nose. We hearing the issue. We blocking our ears. We just don't want to see if it's true or not. Guys, my battery just died here. But because we're getting the little breadcrumbs, the breadcrumbs we like.
We question these numbers. That's why we need to be sure that the members on the other side know exactly what they're doing. Mr. Speaker?
But they do know what they're doing, Lennox. They know what they're doing. They know it cannot be accounted for if it's outside. It cannot be accounted for. It have to be accounted for if it's inside. But because they know what they're doing.
On or about the 9th of June, Mansion at Mount Daniel from Mercury Properties Development Limited for the accommodation of the Prime Minister. The amount agreed was $32,000 per month, $384,000 per year. And just trying to be helpful in ensuring that things are done right. I drew Parliament's attention to the fact that this amount was not included
The other 32.
2020-2021 expenditure estimates before the House for spending approval. Under head D30, Office of the Prime Minister, Prime Minister's official residence, there was an amount of $387,597 to cover wages, supplies, materials, operating and maintenance costs, professional.
So everything is 64,000, 300,000.
Consultancy services, insurance, sundry expenses, and other machinery and equipment. This put the annual cost the state was required to pay for the Mondaniel property at $771,598 or $64,300 per month. But no request.
Oh, same 64,000, yeah.
For parliamentary approval to spend $32,000 per
Additional.
month on the rental of a residence for the Prime Minister.
Nope. Guys, did that happen? Did that happen? The Prime Minister just want to do what he want. Just do what he want. And all you pull up there and all when things happening to all you say, what you silent. Because you're afraid they victimize all you. And then coming to me now for me to come and talk on your behalf on YouTube. Alright. Alright then.
Indeed, in that year, 2020-2021, there was no line item rental of assets in the expenditure estimates for the Prime Minister's office. That line item surfaced for the first time in the 2021-2022 estimates, where a request was made for approval of $384,000 for rental of assets, understood to mean the Mondaniel residence.
So all you don't seen what happened. All you don't seen what happened in there. All you not seen what the Prime Minister doing, all you boy. All you not seen that boy. Guys, and I wish he's making up thing, you know. I wish his movie I making there. I wish his movie. Which movie that now? Reality that there we. Reality that there we boy.
The 2021-2022 estimates confirmed, and this was
The additional line.
by the majority votes. All of the members of the other side voted for the estimates to be approved. But go back and look at what we approved. It confirms that there was no authorized budget
For the
for
line.
rental of assets, namely the Prime Minister's residence in 2020-2021, and therefore no lawful authority
Monies
to spend
should be used.
any public money for that purpose.
Yep.
On November 29, 2021, this Honorable House approved the supplementary appropriations for the fiscal year 2020-2021. The same year. There was no supplementary appropriation for the Prime Minister's office in respect of the rental of the Mondaniel residence or at all. The Prime Minister's office did not feature in the supplementary appropriations that came before this House on November 29, 2021.
So that means money is being spent and they had no supplement. They don't put it there. They don't put it in. Anyways, guys, not that I'm looking for.
Now, authorization for and spending of $224,000 on rental assets, meaning the Mondaniel residence. The record of this Parliament is for the palatial mansion for the Prime Minister in 2020-2021. In excess of amounts authorized by Parliament is a violation of Section 45B of the Finance Administration Act.
Same thing they're talking about.
Agree among themselves on spending $32,000 a month to rent a residence for the head of cabinet and fail or refuse
To put it
or
in.
just couldn't care to get the required approval of Parliament first year of the lease facilities in the administration of public finances. Mr. Speaker, we don't expect that anyone will be surcharged. Before the end of this sitting, there will be a supplementary appropriation to cover the unauthorized spending of $224,000 of public money on the Mount Daniel palatial residence of the Prime Minister in 2021-2022.
So they took the monies that can help people for the Prime Minister to stay comfortable in a mansion that he's now building another mansion. While people suffer, nurses, I talked about that yesterday, nurses. I have to do another video on that, I have the full thing. We'll go through that. Of course we have to go through that. But not that I'm looking for.
Finances to the satisfaction, mockeries of the truth. This side, we are just trying to be helpful. Really, in the stewardship of public finances. And $82, $380,494. As stated at page 2 of the 2022-2023 estimates. $1,556,382,494.
So Dominicans not seeing how these monies can help them. Dominicans not seeing all the monies that is staying outside that can actually help them. How Dominicans fighting other Dominicans who telling them that these monies can be used to help them. Well, they crying, saying, budget, we paying too much money for this and that and this and that. The government can truly subsidize and help the people with the monies that they made from CBI. But instead, we fighting other Dominicans that saying that these monies can be used to help them. Boy, you could. But it's not what I'm looking for.
Goods and services in the economy of Dominica is $1,473,170,000. This means, Mr. Speaker, that Dominica's debt to GDP ratio is 106%.
Boy. Anyways, that's what I'm looking for. Let's go.
But he didn't give you why. And the allegations comparing debt to GDP ratios under the UWP and the auction.
Anyways, we
4%, 47.7%, 1998, 5%. Under the DLP.
Let me go back, man. I suspect I'll have to do another video, guys. I'll have to do another video. Let's go back and listen to that.
And the DLP administrations. So, Mr. Speaker, before any more of those erroneous tales from the other side, let's set the record straight on debt to GDP for Dominica.
So 166. 166, eh? Okay. Debt to GDP ratio. Okay.
From the country data files of the International Monetary Fund. 1995 to 2020.
2000.
Under the UWP, 1995, debt to GDP 57.4%, 1996, 53.7%, 1997, 47.7%, 1998, 56.3%, 1999, 61.8%, an average over the 5 years of 55.4%.
55.4% debt to GDP ratio. Right now it's 166%. Boy. Ay. No boy.
Under the DLP.
For those of you who don't know, debt to gross domestic product, how much you are making versus that of the debt. Your debt is about 50% of the gross domestic product, or is your debt much higher? 166%. But the partner telling me that last year we sell over $200 million in exports for agriculture. And he's serious. He's serious.
According to the International Monetary Fund, country data files, 2000, 68.9%. 2001, 98.5%. 2002,
boy, look things. Let's go back, man. 2000.
68.9%.
68.9%. Remember that at that time they were saying that they didn't have no money in the treasury. I remember well. I remember well. Yes.
2001, 98.5%. 2002, 97.9%. 2003, 94.9%.
94. Okay.
2004, 86.2%.
Oh, it go down. Okay.
2005, 82%.
It go down. Okay.
2006, 77.4%.
It go down. It getting closer to UWP own. Okay.
2007, 71.8%.
Okay.
2008, 64.4%.
64. So UWP time.
2009, 62.5%.
Okay, go down now.
2010, 66.8%.
66 going up.
2011, 69.7%.
It go up again.
2012, 73.1%.
Oh, it going up now.
2013, 73.9%.
Up. Okay.
2014, 72.1%. 2015, 68.9%.
It go down. Okay.
2016, 75.3%.
75. Okay.
2017, 80.2%.
80. 2017. That's Hurricane Maria. Eh?
2018, 84.6%.
After Hurricane Maria. Eh? Mark you.
2019, 94.7%.
After that, we get debt forgiveness. We get all kind of things. All kind of something we get. It went down after Hurricane Maria. Ay. Boy.
2020, 107, 108.7%. 2021, 106%. Debt to GDP. I turn now, Mr. Speaker, to the 2022.
Wait a while.
I turn now to GDP. Debt 6%. 8.7%. 2021, 106%.
106. So I think it's 166. 106. So my bad, guys. 106. But my God. And they will blame it on the UWP, you know. They blame it on the UWP when UWP had a better track record. And the last year, that is when they put monies towards the international airport. I remember all this, you know. Anyways, guys, let me just stop it there. I'm gonna do another one. I'll do another on the other video. I think it's on the other video, but we're gonna get into this in a while. So, guys, definitely tune in again for another reaction on this here vibrations, and then I'll start doing what the national youth leader and these individuals have to say, and then I'll do the budget itself to see if some of the things that they mention in this are actually on it. So I'm gonna be doing another one after this one. Look out for it in like 2 hours time, guys, because we're gonna be dropping them hits, man. Let's go. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Don't forget to check that link in the first comment in the comment box below, as well as the Mystelics YouTube app. Download that Mystelics YouTube app, guys. I'll see you guys in a moment.